You've been trying to win a fight that you should have never been fighting in the first place. And that's why it keeps draining you. That's why it keeps wearing you down. That's why it feels like you're constantly starting over, even when you think you've made progress. Because you're relying on willpower to carry you through situations that are designed to break it. You wake up with intention. You start strong. You feel locked in, focused, clear. And then slowly, almost without noticing it, things begin to shift. Distractions creep in. Energy drops. Small decisions start stacking in the wrong direction. And before you know it, you're off track again. Not because you didn't care, not because you didn't try, but because you were relying on something that isn't built to last. Willpower is temporary. It fluctuates. It depends on energy, emotion, sleep, stress, and 100 other variables that you don't fully control. And yet, you've been treating it like it's your foundation, like it's something you can depend on consistently, like it's strong enough to carry you through every situation. It's not, and it never will be. Because willpower is a response, not a system. It reacts to what's around you. It doesn't control it. And if your environment is working against you, if it's filled with distractions, friction, easy exits, and constant triggers pulling you away from what matters, you will lose that fight eventually, no matter how disciplined you think you are. That's the part most people refuse to accept because it forces responsibility on a different level, not just over your actions, but over everything around you, everything you allow, everything you tolerate, everything you leave in place even though you know it's working against you. Because your environment is not neutral, it is always pushing you in a direction, always influencing your behavior, always shaping your decisions in ways that feel subtle in the moment, but become obvious over time. And if you don't control it, it will control you. Look at your patterns, not your intentions. Your patterns, the way your days actually play out, the way your habits actually form, the way your focus actually breaks, and you'll start to see it clearly. The same triggers, the same distractions, the same environments leading to the same outcomes over and over again. You don't randomly lose focus. You lose it in the same places, at the same times, under the same conditions, and those conditions are not accidental. They're built into your environment. They're part of the system you're operating in every day. So when you try to fix your behavior without changing your environment, you're fighting against something stronger than your current identity. You're trying to override a system with effort. And effort will always lose to a well-designed system over time. That's why you can feel disciplined in one setting and completely lose it in another, because the environment changes, the inputs change, the triggers change, and your behavior follows, not because you're inconsistent at your core, but because you're responsive to what's around you. And once you understand that, everything shifts, because now the goal is not to force better behavior in the same environment. It's to build an environment that makes better behavior the default, the easiest option, the path of least resistance. Because you will always follow the path of least resistance. Everyone does. And that's not a weakness, that's human nature. The difference is whether that path leads you forward or keeps you stuck. Right now, your environment is designed for convenience, for comfort, for distraction, for easy exits, for instant relief. And as long as that's the case, you will keep choosing those options, not consciously, not intentionally, but automatically, because they're available, because they're easy, because they're right in front of you. So you change that, not by trying harder, but by removing the options that don't serve you, by creating friction around the behaviors that hold you back, and reducing friction around the behaviors that move you forward. You make distractions harder to access, not easier. You make your work more visible, more immediate, more unavoidable. You remove the small triggers that pull you off track before they have the chance to build momentum. Because most failure doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens in a chain of small decisions, each one slightly off, each one easy to justify, each one leading to the next until you're too far gone to recover easily. Break the chain at the start, and the rest never happens. And the way you do that is by controlling what's around you before the moment even begins. You don't wait until you're distracted to try to focus. You eliminate the distraction before it exists. You don't wait until you feel resistance to try to push through it. You design your environment so resistance is reduced from the beginning. Because the strongest form of discipline is the one you don't have to use, the one that's built into your system, the one that's reinforced by your environment instead of constantly fighting against it. And this is where most people fall off, because it requires a different kind of effort, not visible effort, not the kind you can feel in the moment, but structural effort, the kind that happens before anything else. The kind that sets the conditions for success or failure long before the action takes place. It requires you to look at your life honestly, to identify what's working against you, to remove what doesn't belong, to restructure what's around you in a way that aligns with who you're trying to become. And that's uncomfortable, because it forces change, real change, not just in what you do, but in how you live, what you allow, what you keep, what you let go of. And most people avoid that. They'd rather try harder in the same environment than rebuild the environment itself. But that's why they stay stuck, because nothing fundamentally changes. The same triggers remain, the same distractions stay in place, the same patterns repeat, just with more effort layered on top. So if you're serious about moving forward, if you're serious about becoming consistent, if you're serious about locking in your identity in a way that doesn't break under pressure, you have to take control of your environment completely. Not partially, not temporarily, not when it's convenient, but fully, consistently, without compromise. Because every compromise leaves a gap, and every gap is an opportunity to fall back into old patterns. You close those gaps one by one until there's no easy way back, until the path forward is not just the right choice, but the only choice that makes sense given the structure of your environment. And once you reach that point, everything changes, not because you've become stronger, but because the system around you is now supporting the version of you that you're building instead of working against it. You stop relying on willpower. You stop fighting the same battles over and over again. You stop draining yourself trying to hold control in environments that are designed to take it away from you. And instead, you move forward consistently, not perfectly, but predictably, because your environment is aligned with your identity, and your identity is reinforced by your environment, creating a loop that works in your favor instead of against you. That's how you win long-term, not by being stronger in the moment, but by being smarter before the moment ever happens, by designing your life in a way that removes unnecessary resistance and eliminates the conditions that lead to failure. So now the question becomes simple. Are you going to keep fighting the same battle every day, relying on willpower that fades? Or are you going to take control of the system itself and make winning inevitable? Because once you control your environment, you control your behavior. And once you control your behavior consistently, everything else follows. Win the system, win the result.